Hello everyone, my name is Dom Sonique and I'm from the iMoot team, and I'd like to welcome you all to the presentation, Simplifying Moodle, if it can get any simpler. I suppose I'm presenting it will be Farhan Kalami from India. Thank you Farhan for setting the time aside for us. And just like to remind everybody that this session will be recorded, so you will be able to access this at any time with your logins after the iMoot's over. So over to you, Farhan.
Thank you so much, Dom Sonique. I would like to thank iMoot for giving me this opportunity to. Is my voice clear, right? I hope people can hear me. Okay, so I thank the organizers. I'm glad I get to present this at the iMoot. So the idea of this presentation is actually a case study where I'll be going through what I have developed for a particular organization, how we revamped their Moodle instance and gave it a kind of a facelift with better UI. I hope it's not breaking for the others then. I thank you all for joining, and so let me start with my presentation. Firstly, it's not criticizing Moodle in any way. I do not mean to be negative, but the only thing when I say what I did in Moodle was try to make it a bit more user-friendly and more suited for the particular instance, the organization for which I work. So Moodle, as I see it, is a powerhouse of e-learning tools. It provides us in online education with a lot of tools and features. But the question is that most people do not use most of the features. Like I've worked with universities and other organizations which use Moodle, but they use just few features, like maybe they are just using the videos or videos as well as quizzes, and they might not be using assignments, forums, SCORM packages. So Moodle offers so much, but when it tries to offer so much, it ultimately the users at the front end, they get confused by too many choices, as I would like to say. So as I personally define user friendliness is that when the users find what they need quick and rather than having to search for it. So that's a modern paradox, that it is simpler to create complex interfaces because it is so complex to simplify them. That's what the aim of the case study was, that we had to try to take Moodle and simplify the interface in such a way that the users find it user friendly. So what we did basically was to remove what was not needed, and we follow this principle that the best user interface is the one which is invisible. So the users do not even come to know that they are in a user interface because they always find what they need very easily. The question arises whenever we have a critic or we want to compare somewhere or we need ideas. So the question usually arises, what are the learning management systems do we have for comparison? Now I've not listed the ones which are very obvious like Canvas, Blackboard or something like that, because most of us are familiar. But what I would like to draw your attention to is these days even WordPress is being used as LMS, and obviously I'll be sharing the link of that resource in the course after this presentation. But people are drifting towards software content management systems like WordPress or Kajabi, which do not even offer a full-blown learning management features. Like they do not have quizzes or assignments or SCORM packages built into them, but yet the people are drifting towards them because they find it familiar, they find the user interface familiar, or something like that. The case study which I'm about to present, I was contacted by this organization, and they had this setup already done on Kajabi. Kajabi is already is a popular membership site which works basically more for content delivery rather than a learning management system. But they wanted to make Moodle look something like Kajabi, so that's what we've done. The target areas for improvements were first listed. So we analyzed that mostly when it comes to Moodle, or when it comes to user interface, the primary defining factor or the crux of the matter or the problem is navigation. So people find it difficult to navigate to the course, or once they are inside a course, they might find it difficult to navigate within the course. Easy access of resources. As we know that in Moodle, everything has to be done inside courses. Even if we take the instance, the example of iMoodle, so all these sessions had to be done, had to have their own courses, and we had to revamp them and make them look as sessions. So obviously, going over the Moodle forums, I found that the scroll of death is a very common problem, and people try to avoid that. And the course pages become so long that people have to scroll a lot to find resources. The context-aware menu. So what we've done in the case study is that we've tried to eliminate the breadcrumbs as well as the navigation block, and have a context-aware menu which shows the user which gives the user access to the pages which he needs the most at that particular point. Learning paths, though this is not directly related to the user interface, we might go over that. So basically, yeah, we did these things, and the 5 major outcomes of this revamp or the redevelopment of this Moodle instance was that we centralized navigation menu. So what I personally feel in Moodle, I don't know whether you share my thoughts with me, but I feel Moodle has got too many places where the user can navigate. There's the top menu which provides links, there is the navigation block, and then there's breadcrumbs, there is also the footer module, and then there's the main content. So we are trying in Moodle, it is justified to a large extent because it is very well organized also, but for a first time user to Moodle, he might get confused where is he supposed to look for things. So what we did was to centralize navigation, like there's the only one place where the user has to look. We trimmed down features which were not used or not needed, so rather than giving the students or the users a complete package of Moodle, we eliminated a lot of features and gave them only what is needed, so that obviously they can find it very fast. We use interfaces which the users are accustomed to. So our users in these days are familiar with sites like Facebook, with YouTube. So we try to build those features and look at it of those sites into our Moodle instance. We substituted complex activities with simpler ones. We'll see a practical example of that. And we made Moodle work actually as a content or a resource library. So yeah, sure. Then I hope I catch you in the next session, or maybe you could go over the recordings. I'm just starting with the screenshots of the revamp of Moodle which I did. So this a big prominent menu which you can notice, which is the context-aware navigation menu. We'll go over that in detail. The sign-up form, I actually disabled legends, and I think that made the form look a bit neater, though the legends and the collapsible forms was introduced as a enhancement for Moodle, but in case the form does not have a lot of legends, we could skip that and have made the sign up form look much better. The login form, usually if you are used to the Moodle, we see that there is a first, is this your first time here, and a text introduction over here on the left. So what we did in this case, that usually we notice that from analytics that people don't actually read the text, or they actually just want the create new account button. So we use the layout which is for the guest login, and we replace that with the create new account button so that people can find it more easily. Coming to the heart of the matter, this is the front page after the user logs in inside the session. So the first thing which I wanted to bring your attention towards is the context related menu. I'll try to increase the zoom so it's clear. Everything that the user has to find will be in the menu itself. So, and depending on where the user is inside Moodle, on which page he is, or what activity or course he is accessing, he will see the menu being changed according to that. So instead of the breadcrumbs or the static top menu or the navigation block, we've centralized everything in the top menu, which is the custom menu. Next we come to, you'll notice that there are actually no blocks when the user sees. I try to do a blockless Moodle experiment, which I got inspiration from the Moodle forums. So there is only one tiny block over on the left, which provides all the user related pages very prominently to the user. So you can view his profile, edit profile, go to my home and password. That's the only one block that appears on the front page when the user logs in. The organization used a video which introduced them to the users of the site, to the learning area, and also what the program is all about. So I felt it's a really good idea to have a video welcome on the page when, as soon as the user sees when they log in. Another thing which was done was that the comments was made to the comments block was put under the video. So this is what the users are more accustomed to. If you go to YouTube or Facebook and other sites, you notice that all the comments and stuff is under the content. And though Moodle has this comments block, it does not, the default options or most themes do not allow us to add blocks to the center region. So we had customized this theme and allowed blocks to be added to the center of the region, and what we used were comments blocks throughout the Moodle pages. So every page or every resource or activity of Moodle had a comments block where the users can easily interact with each other. And the comments block also was customized, and though it's I'm not sure how. Okay, I'm just zooming in a little. I had to blur all this because I did not get official permission from the organization for it. But anyways, I hope the crux is clear. You can see that this is a reply to the comment, so a nested comment, which what we've tried to do is eliminate the need of forums. So as I was comparing comments and forums, I personally like to call comments as the lighter version of forums. So forums we use for structured discussions, where each discussion has a thread or a topic, and people can reply and be organized in the way, whereas comment is more haphazard, where anyone can comment in any order or something like that. So we try to do that. I'll be going into a little bit of codes how it was done, though it will not be a detailed coding session, but just to give you a brief idea on how it was done in case someone is eager. First, the theme was an extension of the clean theme. So we developed another instance of the clean theme, and in the renderers file we added the new custom menu. So the link is already provided in the course section in this course on how do we develop a custom theme by PHP coding. So we overrided the renderers, but one unique thing which we added in the course was that we were comparing the page URL that the user is currently on. So we use this function if this page URL compared to what URL the user is on. So this is checking if the user is actually on the course view page, and depending on which page the user is, we are making the menu according to that. So if the user is on a course page, we customize the menu and provide options in the menu according to what he would like to see there. Also about block positioning or block regions. So most of the Moodle themes are not using the block regions or defining new block regions other than the left and the right, which is the side pre and the side post regions. So in case you have to define a new region in your theme, this is a development code overview, you could call that. So in the layout page, layout file, we've added a new block region, which is the mid content, I am calling it here. And wherever in your layout, according to your theme, where you use it, you can output the blocks for the region mid content. So this is how we centralized or defined a new block region for Moodle. That was the center region, and that was used for the comments, as I showed you in the screenshots earlier. Obviously, the comment block was made sticky, and so that it appears on all the mod page types. We come back to the course page and how it was done. The breadcrumb is actually not there visible to the users, so we are not using breadcrumbs. It just was there in the screenshot since I used the old version. Anyway, the course format which was used in this case study was something similar to the one topic per page format, or what you can see as soon as the user logs in, he just sees the course summary and does not see the resources on the course page, or the course sections are not added on the course page. Everything is tucked neatly into the menu. So as I told you earlier, that the menu is context related. So the menu checks that if the user is actually on a course page right now. So instead of the earlier drop down, you had earlier a drop down of courses over here. So the user could navigate to any course directly from the top menu. But once he is inside a course page, he can navigate to any course module, as they called it, or as we are aware that we call it topics or sections. So course topics or sections, rather than scrolling down in the on the course page, you can access them directly from the menu. And this we saw an example of the context related, the menu changing according to the context also. As well as we are avoiding the scroll of depth, because the users don't have to scroll down to access the resource content. They can simply do it from here. So this is just a magnified view of the course modules, and when the drop down is selected, so it, you see it quickly gives the user a brief overview of how many topics or sections are there in the course, and you can navigate to any of the course sections directly without having the course, the scroll of depth. And you can navigate to the course also, or go to other courses from the menu. So this is something which was introduced with the course format. I've highlighted this in red oval just to make you draw your attention again to the menu, which is changing according to the context. So we are now on what we call a section page or a module page. So from the previous menu, if the user selected any course section or a course module, he will be able to see all the resources under that section in a custom page. So this was a custom PHP page developed, which basically just takes the ID of the section and displays the content of that course section in a neat format. It is trying to emulate it and display it as a content library. It shows a brief introduction about the resource or the content, and the number of comments directly can be seen. As I told you earlier, that all the resources or all the activities had their own comments block. So from this page you can access the videos, and in my case in this organization, as I told you, that they were not using a lot of Moodle features, like assignments were not being used, forums were not being used. So all they needed Moodle for was take just for videos and quizzes. So those are the two options which are provided to them, and they can add only those two activities. So clicking on the video will actually take you to a page module in where the Vimeo video is embedded, and again you see that there are no blocks absolutely used. The only way the user can navigate is either from the context related menu, or we just added this minified navigation block which just shows the content of this current section. So the navigation block itself is made simple. Most of the options are eliminated, and if you want to know how to do this, I have shared the links inside the course. Underneath each video, since their format was that after each video there is supposed to be a quiz, so and the name of the video and the quiz has to match exactly. From there, this button is automatically generated, and this opens the quiz module in a pop-up window so that the users can quickly access the quiz. And the comments is always there, so they can comment on the video or whatever activity is being shared. This eliminates the need of forums or student discussion forums, or where we have forums for each video or something like that. So under this comments block, the students all obviously know that they have to talk something related to this video itself. So the discussion format or the discussion topic is already defined. The screen is loading a bit slow for me, so please bear. Okay, are you seeing the screenshot with folder 1, folder 2? That was my 16th slide. Okay, so yeah, as I said, I'm glad to see all the chat messages. So I am happy that I've not put you all to sleep yet. Moodle was we made a custom page or a custom PHP script for making Moodle appear or work as a content library. Especially that lol coming from Gareth, y'all are all experts, and it's a challenge presenting in front of all of y'all. Anyway, coming back to the session, what was done was we made a custom PHP script and a course which was hidden from the users. So all these course sections are appearing on this page as a folder. So the users get a interface which they are used to for accessing digital content on the internet. They are used to accessing it from folders rather than from courses. So a course is made, but it is hidden from the users, and only when the administrator adds a new course section and whatever he renames it, that appears as a folder over here, and just clicking the folder will let them access the contents inside that course section from the section page which I showed you earlier. So what the users get is an interface which they are very familiar with, and they are used to accessing content over this. It is not actually a like we are not showing this as a course. This is the resource center from the menu which is clicked. So this is just some content which the organization needed, which did not have to be inside any course also, which was just general throwaway content. Should we be moving away from folders? Gareth, I think I would love to hear from you about that, since you all are much more experienced than me. But I was doing what was asked from me. But I feel if Windows, the environment and computers are still using folders, so most of the majority of the users are, though yes, you are correct, it's not used in the web so much, but you could compare it with Dropbox maybe, and if they are using it, so if people are used to it, so let's give it to them. That's what I feel. I would love to hear from you after the session, and I've got to take much more inputs from all of you all. Coming to the last slide which was done, we covered the resource center, and we tried to make something look at the community forum. So earlier, instead of having forums inside each courses, this is something which I got inspiration from the Moodle org site itself. I have used this forum index.php code itself by default. So this gives you a good interface where you can present a social platform for the people to interact. So all these are forums created inside one particular course, which the course ID is 21, for those of you who are familiar with query strings and how Moodle works. So rather than giving the users the course and then going from the course to look into forums, we directly embed this link inside the menu, the forum index.php, which gives a very nice interface where the forum and the description can be seen. What I personally added was this comments count, where Moodle already had this discussion count. The comments count checks counts the number of replies in the forum also. So that was added, as well as the active topics block was added. So which topic inside which forum is most active, or which was last interacted with by the user, is being shared in this block. So with that, I'm done with my short and sweet case study. It's 30 minutes, and I would like to open the floor for all of you to have a productive discussion on how we can deal with cases where, especially the users or the organizers or the people who run Moodle sites, want Moodle to look more like the other platforms. Like in my case, it was Kajabi, and this was how I had done it. So please feel free to contact me at my email address, or we have half an hour on our hands right now to have a good discussion. We've got experts from all over Moodle here. Ethan said, I think it depends on what kind of course it is. If it's mainly providing resources, folder make. That was what was needed in this case. So the courses appear as courses, but what they wanted to just share as additional giveaways or just resources, that was put in the resources and was made to, I had masked a course to appear as folders and content within the folders. But I feel learners would not expect to find forums, wikis, folders. In the forums, there were only, in the folders, inside the folders, there were only video resources and audio files or just PDFs. So there were no activities in this case, in this organization. They were not using wikis and other Moodle features anyway. The comment block, I had to do a lot of customization to have the nested comments in that, and to move it to the center, I had this new block region defined inside the layout page. So that's how I moved it to the center. But to have the reply to the comment, I did not actually, I could not work on Y framework. I had to use jQuery and Ajax, mixed it up with the default Moodle extension. I've got that code file in case I'm willing to share it. So Andrew, I'll get in touch with you. Yes, the only course that was social was the social forum which I showed you. So that's where all the interaction or all the forums will take place. Remove the legend without a display none. It could be done with the coding in the sign up form, but I did not want to alter a lot with the Moodle code, so I did it with a CSS hack. I'm not sure whether that's an ideal way of doing it. Garrett? So this center block code position be limited to a single block. Actually, when you define a block region in Moodle by the code which I shared, that leaves it open for, so you can edit any block position, and the same way where you can make it move to the left or the right, you get an additional drop down where you can move it to the center actually, and so you cannot actually limit, you cannot limit it to just one block instance. In fact, any block which has that region to center will appear there in the center. So any other feedback, questions, or inputs? Or this was my first time presenting in an iMoot, and the second time I'm attending an iMoot, and I'm kind of nervous. So Gareth, are you saying that you could limit it to a single block, or is your reply to the legend comment? I actually have a lot to learn from the Moodle community. I've been involved in development of Moodle since only 2 years, so I've still a long way to go, but this was my first try at Moodle. Right, I'll just share that. So in this, I've actually done it. Through a filter. So whenever a video is actually filtered or defining new filters in Moodle, so whenever a new filter video is caught in the filter, it tries to find a quiz with a similar name, and it embeds this button that's the quiz there. So it's limited to just working with videos and quizzes because this was a particular instance of them. Follow has yes, the quiz and the video had to be the same name, or I had actually proposed them to keep it like in the same section so it could display, but it can once we get this code, so we can play with it around. Similar to the auto linking activity feature, yes, it's similar. In fact, the video is embedded as a page. So what could have been done is also like when they are adding the embedded HTML code for the video, they could have also added the HTML code for the quiz button, the administrators, but they wanted to make their life simple and they wanted to have it work automatic for them. So I had to code it over there and define a new filter. I wish I could put this site or the demo and I could have let you all try it, but unfortunately the organization for which I worked, they did not give me official permission. That's why I've got their names also blurred and I had to remove references to them. I hope I can work on something similar which is generic and can be used by other organizations. Maybe a theme in Moodle which could have all these features in it. Paulo has shared a huge long comment. Often interactive social activities. Yes, I agree a lot with you. The the live sessions are the most effective in communicating or in teaching.
Thank you, Varane. I mean, I find it really, really interesting with this whole idea of what you present, what the customer wants, as against what you may think. I mean, I find what you said really sort of fascinating in that you were constrained on using folders because that's what the customer wants, and you're completely right. That's what you have to give them. And that's brilliant. I mean, you may be familiar with some of my plugins and Collapse topics and themes and stuff, but I find the whole user interface interaction interesting, and how you were forced to use folders, and that I tried through my teaching and to the staff at the school I used to work at, trying to get them away from the folder idea.
Yeah, thanks so much for the feedback. I'm still open to ideas and I could take it to them. Actually, I have been thinking about your comment about folders and how we are supposed to maybe move away from them in a course environment. Let's see if something comes up.
What's also interesting, I heard something. I think IBM or Oracle have got an operating system which has no folders. There are no files. There's no folders. It's organised in a totally different way. So maybe it's just a new way of thinking about things that maybe other learning platforms has to get away from the traditional folder mechanism. But maybe we're in this transition phase where, in order to move people from the past to the future, we have to take them via a route where the intermediate thing is what they're used to.
Right. That does make sense. Let's see.
Now, I really like your ideas about how you're trimming down the interface, how you're using the custom renderers to remove things. I know that the central block from theme point of view is a difficult thing to manipulate.
Thank you so much. Actually, I got most of the inspiration from by browsing through the Moodle forums and by going over the criticism that Moodle got, and I've always got help from the forums and people like you. Though I'm not so active on the Moodle art site, but I keep reading there.
Yeah, the other people on the themes forum are really helpful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Using Moodle as a thank you all for bearing up with me and listening so patiently, and it was wonderful discussing with all of you all. I hope one day I could come up, or in fact others can come up with themes like this, which are actually go against the Moodle rules. Like in this we've switched off all blocks from everywhere, and we've tried to experiment. So I hope there are themes that come up with the way, and new block regions also. Thank you so much for all the comments.
If you can find it, look on the Moodle News, and there's a reference on there, Farhan, about a post by the University of Sussex, and they've got a really excellent one about what they believe Moodle should do to improve the user interface.
Yeah. Okay, I've not stumbled upon that yet. I'll find that.
I'll see if I can find it.
That would be great. Follow. Actually, the interface of the forums is the default by Moodle. You just have to go to the index.php and ID, and this is actually your course ID. In case you're not familiar with Moodle programming, so the only thing which I added was the comment, the count, and the active topics. So these were features which were found in the Kajabi environment, and we try to incorporate them in Moodle. So thanks so much, Gareth. That's a link I'll be studying before my next session, and maybe I could take pointers from there. I'm actually not a design person. Yeah, I bookmarked it. I'm actually not a design person, so even the clean theme which I extended in here, I've not actually done a lot of customization. You see the background is still black and white, I mean, and the fonts have really not changed. I've not altered the design except for the menu and the top header. So the designing is not my cup of tea as developers. So I assume we could end the session, or what do we do? Thank you so much, Gareth, and it was lovely interacting with you, and thank you for all the feedback and the link.
Thank you, Farhan, for your excellent presentation. It was very informative, and yeah, I would encourage you to work on a theme, and even get others to maybe contribute to it, because it's a very unusual idea, but I think one that definitely worth investigating and pursuing. As I said, this is being recorded, so others who may not have been able to attend it now will get an opportunity to hear it again. Thank you very much on behalf of the iMoot team, and people can continue to chat with you now, but I'll be leaving it for now, and thank you again.
Thank you so much for giving me this chance, and for the excellent support, iMoot, and the big blue button also. Thanks.